Unfolded Mysteries. Hello, Unfolded Mysteries family. Before we dive into today's video, I want to let you know that the names of the stories shared in this video have been changed to protect the privacy of individuals involved. The essence of each story remains intact, but any names mentioned are purely fictional. Respecting the privacy of individuals is of utmost importance to us, and we have taken this step to ensure that everyone's personal information is kept confidential. We appreciate your understanding and support in creating a safe and respectful space for everyone. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. Now, let's jump into today's stories with the assurance that privacy is our top priority. Thank you for being a part of the Unfolded Mysteries community. Once, in the quiet town of Hollow Creek, where the streets echoed with the soft rustle of leaves and the nights were cloaked in an eerie silence, a chilling incident unfolded that left the residents questioning the very fabric of their safety. Little did George, a 29-year-old resident living alone in his unsettlingly secluded house, know that his solitary haven would become the backdrop for a true nightmare. The weekend had just begun, and George looked forward to escaping the stress of his city life. His house, nestled amidst dense woods, was the kind that invoked fear in those who believed horror movies could come to life. Yet, it was precisely this isolation that drew George to the rural tranquility. As Friday evening unfolded, George settled into his weekend routine, binging on his favorite TV series. The house creaked with every gust of wind, casting an atmosphere of solitude that seemed almost surreal. It was then that a sudden knock echoed through the silent halls, jolting George from his comfort. Opening the door, George was met with a salesman, clipboard in hand, hawking security systems. The salesman's pitch spoke of recent break-ins, a fact that George, engrossed in his quiet life, was entirely unaware of. The man's persistence won over George's hesitation, and he reluctantly gave the stranger his phone number, agreeing to consider the security system. As the night wore on, George immersed himself in his TV show, oblivious to the events that would soon unfold. At the stroke of 11 p.m., an ominous knock echoed through the empty halls. George, now annoyed at the untimely disturbance, ignored it initially, but the knocks persisted, growing more insistent with each passing moment. Growing uneasy, George approached the door cautiously, peering through the peephole. There, in the shadows, stood two masked figures, their faces hidden beneath disturbing sacks. A chill ran down George's spine as he declared through the door that he was armed, even though he lacked any weapon. The knocks ceased momentarily, only to be replaced by an eerie silence that hung thick in the air. Just as George began to believe he had successfully deterred the mysterious visitors, his phone rang. The caller ID displayed 911 emergency services. Bewildered, George answered, only to be met by a voice claiming to be the police department. The caller, identifying themselves as an officer, informed George of a crime reported on his block, demanding his cooperation in an ongoing investigation. Skeptical, George requested verification by asking the caller to direct the officers to his window for identification. The alleged officer insisted that the police were already outside George's house, creating a sense of urgency that heightened George's suspicions. Refusing to answer questions without visual confirmation, George abruptly hung up, leaving the unsettling calls unanswered. As the phone clicked off, a new wave of terror gripped George. The back door rattled as someone attempted to force entry. Loud bangs echoed through the house, signaling a desperate attempt to breach the sturdy door. Panicking, George rushed to the window and caught a glimpse of the masked intruders. Their unsettling masks stared back at him, confirming his worst fears. In a desperate bid to protect himself, George fabricated a claim of possessing a weapon, hoping to deter the intruders. Miraculously, the tactic worked and the masked figures vanished into the darkness, leaving Hollow Creek once again cloaked in an unsettling stillness. After the ordeal, George decided to verify the authenticity of the bizarre incident. He called 911 only to confirm his suspicions. The calls were a ruse, a sinister ploy to lure him into opening his door to potential harm. The police advised him to lock all doors, arm himself with anything that could be used as a weapon, and await their arrival. Minutes later, the real police arrived, conducting a thorough search of George's property. The 2 cop cars stationed in front of his house with their flashing lights served as a deterrent against any further attempts. Despite their reassuring presence, George couldn't shake the unsettling feeling that he had been targeted intentionally. In the aftermath, George discovered that his closest neighbors hadn't experienced similar incidents, raising questions about why his house became the focal point of this bizarre scheme. As he contemplated the motives behind the masked intruders and the mysterious salesman, George resolved never to open his door to unannounced visitors again. Hollow Creek, once a haven of tranquility, now bore witness to a disturbing secret lurking in its shadows. The tale of the true fake cop horror story spread through the town, leaving its residents to grapple with a newfound fear that shattered the illusion of their peaceful existence. The unsettling events of that fateful night lingered in the air, a chilling reminder that even in the quietest corners, darkness could take root, waiting for the opportune moment to reveal. We hope you enjoyed those spine-tingling tales as much as we did. If you're still feeling a little spooked, don't worry, you're not alone. But before we say goodbye, we have a few things to ask of you. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you found these stories as chilling as we did. It really helps our channel. Subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't already. There are plenty more eerie adventures waiting for you right here, so you don't want to miss out. Share this video with your friends and fellow thrill seekers. After all, spooky stories are best enjoyed with company, right? That's a wrap for today, but stay tuned for more bone-chilling content in the future. Until next time, remember to keep your flashlight handy, your wits about you, and always be ready for the unexpected. Thanks for joining us on this haunting journey. Take care and may your nights be eerily entertaining. See you in the next video.